Hey guys, this is my over-aggressive review of Capital One and my experience trying to open a bank account with them. This all started with Laura and I going over our finances and realizing that we didn't have our savings buffer in place. Anyone who has done a budget or has gone online and asked what's a smart thing to do with your money and budgeting and all that, the first answer is get a savings buffer in place, right? It's a no-brainer. You got to have money in case you get fired, in case you have something that comes up that costs a lot of money. You need to have a buffer. Laura and I agree with that 100%. And so we've always had a few $1,000s in the bank, but we're setting a goal this year to get an appropriate savings buffer in place. And as part of that, I started to look at our bank account, and I realized we are getting 0.10% annual percentage rate on our bank accounts. Checking, savings, I think it's all the same. And I was like, well, that's not good. I get about 50 cents every 6 months, which is just terrible, abysmal. And so I thought, well, if we're going to have a savings buffer in place that literally never moves, we might as well be making as much money as possible. And so I decided to open an account, and I did a review of a number of different bank accounts before I decided on Capital One. And so one of my friends has a Capital One account, a money market account, and it gets a 1.5% interest rate. And they have checking accounts and online bill pay and mobile bill pay, which were all the things that I was looking for. And so I went to the Capital One online browser webpage and decided to open an account. It's a joint account. I'm married. Ding, 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 ding. So I opened a joint account in my name and Laura's name, and it's supposed to be super easy. I put in information and bing, did not work. So I was like, okay, well, let's figure out why. So I called in. They said, it looks like your information is incorrect. We will need you to have Laura call in. And I was like, oh, okay, so Laura's information is incorrect. And the representative said, no, I don't know if her information is incorrect. I need you to have her call in. And I said, okay, well, you don't have to tell me what it is, but can you tell me that it's Laura's information that's incorrect so that I can, we can make sure we're not wasting our time by having her call in. He said, no, you need to have her call in. I know that banks are subject to like crazy regulations and stuff, so okay, fine. So I have Laura call in. Laura calls in and they say, I don't know why you're calling in. Your information looks fine. I don't understand why someone told you to call in. Waste of her time. Laura does not like being involved in these things. She's very busy with her career and a lot of other things, and so she just wants me to handle it all. So, and I know that, which is why I didn't want to have them call her, but that's okay. So I call back and I tell them, that didn't work. What's next? Let's get this account open. It should be easy. And the representative says, okay, well, it looks like you had an old auto loan with us, which I did. I had an old auto loan and it was closed. I had refinanced it. And I said, why does that matter? And they said, well, we need to update your address. So let's transfer you over there. So they transferred me over and I updated that address. They told me to wait a couple of days and try again. Of course I did. It did not work. And so we're about 3 days in here. And so I call back in and I said, it's not working. I don't understand, why is this so difficult? And the reps are very nice when you talk to them on the phone. A lot of nice people there. And so they said, well, it looks like you have an open credit card with us. And I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, yes, you do. So they were like, well, let's transfer you over to the credit card department. And I was like, to do what? And they were like, well, you got to update your address information in order to open this account, which is insane. Why do I have to be transferred to 4 different departments within your company for you to update my address to open a bank account? Something's not right. And so I said to the woman, okay, well, let's, if you're going to transfer me over there, I don't want to start over. Like, can you stay on the line? And she said, sure. So we jump on the line with the credit card guy, update the address. I immediately then closed the account, which he thought was hysterical. It kind of is. Please update my address, and I'll close the account. Thank you very much. Because I didn't even realize I had the credit card. That's kind of scary. And so then he asks the rep who was on the line, okay, what's the next step? And surprise, surprise, she had hung up. Very helpful. Very helpful, Capital One. Thank you. And so, we're 4 or 5 days in now. I've called them 4 or 5 times, and I'm surprisingly patient at this point. Usually, about 4 or 5 days in, I am losing my mind. Most people will tell you I'm an over aggressive person in general, and so when I want something done, I want it done now. And it was very difficult. So it was difficult, but I was surprisingly patient. I think it was because the people were so nice that I was able to sit through and listen to, this load of bullshit about how to open a bank account. And so eventually I gave up on the joint banking account. They said, we've updated your address. Maybe it'll work now, maybe it won't. And so I just gave up on it. I said, okay, well, that's not going to work. So I tried to open an account in my name. Of course, that didn't work because there's a problem with that, right? My information wasn't correct in their systems. And so I then switched and I opened a single account in Laura's name. And yes, I know this is like wrought with identity theft, but you can't really steal your wife's identity. She's fine with it. Trust me, she's happy to have me open the account for her. But it was scary how easy it is to steal someone's information. That was terrifying, and use it to open an account because I didn't need a whole lot. But anyway, so I opened that account. It actually opened within seconds, which was great. I set up a transfer to go into from our bank account into her account, so at least we could get that 1.5% rolling as quickly as possible because that's what I wanted. And then I tried to add myself as a joint account holder, which is all done online. Of course, it didn't work. Surprise, surprise. And I found there that they have a personal chat feature. And so I jumped on there to try to figure it out. They were not really able to help me with that. Quick to respond, but no real answers. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, why am I still wasting my time with Capital One? This is a huge waste of time. And at what point do I say this is just not going to work? So at this point, I then try to open an account in my name again because it's been a couple of days. I think we're on 9 or 10 days since I tried to start opening the account, and I was able to open a single account in my name. Okay, that's great. So then I tried to add Laura as a joint account holder. Of course, that did not work. And I went on their personal chat, tried to get them to help me figure it out. And ultimately what they said was, Laura has to call in. And some of that is valid, right? It's Laura's information. I cannot, they cannot talk to me about her personal information. I get that. But it's still insane how difficult Capital One has made it to open this account. Okay, at this point we are 10 days in. All right, 10 days trying to open one simple account. I have been on the phone 7 times. I have been on 2 or 3 different chats on their online chat because I was able to get on there, and it is just silly how difficult they have made it, and how they get any customers, I don't know. But the final thing that I do, I decide, okay, well, I can't open a joint account. That's just not happening. So screw it, I'll just take one of the accounts, Laura's or mine, and I will drop the money in, and I'll start getting the interest rate. We can worry about the joint account holder thing later. I don't care about that. We're married, She's not going to run off and take it. And so I went on my account, tried to drop the money in. Of course, it didn't work. Went on her account, tried to drop the money in. It did not work. It is just beyond, every step of the way with Capital One was like pulling teeth. Their online system is a complete joke. I will never use it. I will recommend that no one ever use it. And to put the icing on the cake, yesterday I finally decided I'm done. I've done everything that I possibly could. Literally everything. I tried to open a joint account. I tried to open a single account. I tried to drop money into those singles accounts. I did everything I possibly could to try to get a bank account open with this company, and I could not do it. Despite being insanely over aggressive about it, calling them, doing things, things that normal people would wait like a week to do, I was doing every single day trying to get this account open. At this point, I said to myself, okay, this is the fact that you've had to have this much hassle opening an account means that after the account is open, if you have a problem, you're going to have hassle every single time. In light of that, I decided, well, it's time to look for a different bank. And I went over to CIT Bank. I opened an account, a joint account in Laura and my name, and it opened in less than 2 minutes. I think they said it was a 15-minute process. I think I did it in 3. I had a lot of experience entering the information. Thank you, Capital One. So I entered that information. I opened the account. I did have one little snag, but it was my fault. I accidentally put in a different number on the password than I thought, so I had to call in and have them reset it. When I called in, I immediately got to a person, no waiting. They helped me within 5 minutes, I think less, and updated I was able to update my password and get into the account. Boom, boom, done. Very impressed. I then set up an external transfer, and I'm now just waiting for them to verify that account so that I can drop my money in. While I was on the phone, the representative said, hey, we've got a CD that goes at 1.85%, no penalty, early withdrawal. Would you like that? And I said, heck yeah, I want that. It's just amazing how helpful and quick and easy they made it. And it's the complete opposite experience of Capital One. I'm very happy so far with CIT Bank. And now, the conclusion of this, I of course have to go back to Capital One now and close my accounts. And I went on their online browser. I went to the page that says, are you done saving? Would you like to close your account? I said, yes, I would. Can you guys guess what happened? I bet you can. It did not work. Not only can I not open an account or drop money into an account, I cannot close an account on their browser. There's literally almost nothing that I could do on that browser that helped me in any way. Insane. And so I closed the account through their chat feature. I jumped on the phone. I waited for about 10 minutes on hold. And then I said, okay, they have a chat feature. I'll just go in their chat feature and do that. And I did that. I went on their chat feature. Vicky was able to close my account very quickly. Thank you, Vicky. That was very nice of you. I asked for an email confirmation that they closed the account because it's a bank account. It's a financial account. You should have records that those are no longer open. It's not good to have those accounts open. Someone could try to steal your identity. There's no money in it, but who knows, and she said, no, we will not give you an email confirmation. I asked again, Vicky, would you please give me an email confirmation that the account is closed? She said, no, I will not. And she said she would give feedback that I had asked for one, which is very helpful. Thank you, Capital One, for taking care of your customers. I'm now in the process of trying to close Laura's account, and their chat feature only takes like so many people at a time, so it's full right now. But I wanted to share this experience because this is the fact that Capital One is even in business after treating new customers the way that I have been treated is insane. And I'm not talking about the customer service reps. They were wonderful people. They did a fantastic job speaking with me. It is not their fault, right? These are people that are just doing the job that Capital One has assigned them. Capital One has set up a structure that is similar to a lot of large companies where you have multiple different departments, auto loan, credit cards, banking, IRAs, all that stuff. And in order to get anything done, they have to transfer you to 5 different departments in order to do it. And that is a mistake. That is a terrible mistake that customers have to bear the brunt of. And I'm not going to do it. Thank God. CIT Bank is the bank for me. I am very happy with them already. I had to call them 2 times. Both times they picked up. I was off the phone within 2 minutes. So impressed. Anyway, I thought it would be helpful for you guys to have this information. If you have had similar experiences, let me know. Maybe this is the Capital One rant channel. Have a great weekend, guys.